It's November. This is the NEC in Birmingham, and that means one thing: it's the huge classic car show end of year finale. And within that, here in Hall 2, this is the Iconic and Classic Sale Auction, which takes place over the same weekend. The weekend that you're watching this, the 7th to the 9th of November. So I've got the catalogue. I'm going to be having a looking around. There's 300 cars here, 250 bikes, numerous automobilia. Let's have a look round. This is my hunting / perving ground for the next half hour. I'm Jonny Smith. You're watching The Late Break Show. As is always the case, you can come here, you can view the cars from Friday, and you can bid on them in person if you've registered. Or you can register online, watch the whole event being live streamed. The sales are on Saturday, and you can bid from the comfort of your own sofa or mobile phone. Go to iconicauctioneers.com. You can fill your boots from either being in the room or being anywhere in the world. I'm going to fill my boots now. If you've watched the Late Break Show's barn find that we did during the summertime of this Escort Mexico that's owned by my friend's family, they've had it since it was a year old. This is the car. They've finally decided to sell it. It's come here to Iconic to go under the hammer. We don't know what it's going to sell for. The estimate is £10,000 to £15,000. And it does definitely need fully restoring, but it's not as hideous as this wing certainly appears. You might remember in the video I had Russell Lord, the Lord of Ford, come and have a look around it, and the originality of this thing is very, very charming. And I personally hope that whoever buys it rebuilds it and lets Chris, the original owner, have a go in it again, or goes to visit them, because these are more than just cars, as I've said before. Because we film these during setup day, obviously there's lots of hustle and bustle of cars coming in to be cleaned down and ready for the auction. And this is one of them, actually. This is a 2007 Mercedes CL 500, the C126. It's lot 860. It's actually running because it's just come in with the pillarless windows all down. It's, you won't be able to hear it. It's so silky smooth. These were launched in 2006. It was the year I actually started working on TV on Fifth Gear. I remember these really well. It's basically a two-door S-Class. 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, 7-speed gearbox, the 5.5 litre naturally aspirated V8. I mean, this is estimated at 10 to 15 grand, and I think this era of car is the next big thing for me. We talk about what is peak car. I think this is probably just beyond peak car, but early to mid 2000s, they're not too complicated, and they're really, really bloody good value. I mean, look, 10 to 15 grand. This thing cost over 80 when it was new. It's done 37,000 miles, and a car of this build quality, 37,000 miles is absolutely nothing. Supplied new in 07, is owned from new by the vendor's mother, and simply being offered for sale because of lack of use. And these were the most expensive models, the CLs, because why would you have all the legroom and all the practicality of an S-Class when you could just have the sort of the yachty looking two-door? And it's, of course, these were packed with state-of-the-art tech, because the S-Class always was. So what's this thing got? It's got all active body control, command infotainment system, adaptive cruise, which was really early for adaptive cruise back then, premium sound system, extensive driver aids, and also really comfortable seats. I like it. Well, there's a line of Fords up here, and I want to pluck a couple out to talk about. And I cannot walk past the Mark II Capri 3 litre S, you can tell from the coach lines. The black bodywork on this car is absolutely stunning. This is lot 805, and this was at the time the most sought after Capri. I mean, actually had quite a short production run, the Mark II Capri, because I think the Mark III came out in 78. This is a 78 car. And this has been subjected to a full nut and bolt rebuild. Come and have a look at the power bulge on this. You know, this was the sort of car steeped in folklore in your local villages and towns as being a bit of a powerhouse. Well, let me tell you, the 3-litre Essex V6 in this kicked out 138 horsepower. Yeah, that was a muscle car in the UK. A 3-litre Capri, you were the man. 138 horsepower. This is a really high score car, 127 out of 135 seller rating points, and 66,000 miles. It does look really, really stunning. It's been meticulously restored, and I was looking inside it. It's locked now, but before we started filming, I had a look inside. It's got the kind of deck chair material seats, and it really does look quite special. Estimate 25 to 30,000 pounds, which is pretty tasty actually. There's another Capri just up there, and that's a Mark 1 XL 1600, and that's estimated at 8 to 10. It's interesting to know that I think that Mark 1 Capri seems to be less desirable than the later Mark 3s, and I don't know whether it's the demographic. The owners are either literally dying away, or whether it's a case of the Mark 3s just seen as being a bit more memorable. I don't know. It's funny the way classics work and the way that they're valued. Of course, 3-litre, double exhausts. I had a college lecturer who had one of these. He used to teach printing. He was off his face on printing the whole time. Carrying on in the sort of fast forward area, I want to talk about this, Lot 806, which is a 1977 Escort Mark II Mexico. This is interesting because it's actually not been restored. It's kind of been preserved sympathetically rather than being restored, and it's in lovely condition with a backstory. The backstory is that the current owner, who's had it for over 25 years, bought it back after his dad sold it when he was a kid. And his dad wasn't the original owner. The original owner was a lady called Sue, which is why it's back with its original number plate. So it's been owned by someone that really remembers the car and obviously loved it. Diamond white, 1600 Pinto with a twin choke carb. It's recently had the engine rebuilt and set up on a rolling road to give out the 96 horsepower that it should have. They've also fitted a quick steering rack and a Quaife limited slip diff, which neither of which you can see, so it still looks completely original to all intents and purposes, including the black vinyl roof here and the rubber boot spoiler too. So this is estimated at 28 to 32 grand. We have seen Ford prices kind of dip, level out a bit, I would say. They're still very buoyant for what they are, and there's numerous Mexicos, there's numerous RS Turbos, which we often get at Iconic Auctions. But I do like this car. I think this looks very, very good indeed. Seller rating of 100 out of 135 points. And if you don't want a Mark II, well, there's plenty of other Mark 1s, Mark 2s, Capris, the list goes on. You might remember in a previous preview that we've done on the Late Break Show for the Iconic Auctions, there was a world record one of these that sold back in March of this year. Fiat Uno Turbo Mark 1, like this. This is a Phase 1 Mark 1, 1987, Lot 825. And this car is in really good condition. We are at an interesting time, aren't we, in the classic car world, where these genres and eras of cars are surging. So what have we got here? 16 to 20,000 quid estimate. It's obviously a 1.3 injected, the Turbo IE, with the 5-speed manual gearbox. This was Fiat's little hot hatch. The Phase 1s, I'm pretty sure, are rarer than the Phase 2s. And I don't know what the value differences are, but in a second I'll show you the Phase 2, because there's a Phase 2 in really good condition also at the Classic Car Auctions here. But this particular car, it's got the lovely Chromadoro 13-inch, 13-inch wheels. This is when hot hatches had 13s. Running on its Yokohama tyres. Recent work include a replacement radiator, water pump hoses, thermostat housing, coolant and fuel pump. There's very few of these that have survived, which is probably why the last car sold, I think it sold for nearly £30,000. Blew me away. And they did a Strada R-Bath, which also sold for a world record amount of money. I think it's locked. Yeah. We'll get it unlocked and have a couple of interior shots of it, because the interior is delightfully 80s and really good condition fabric. Right. I'm going to go and find the Mark II, because the Mark II, I think, is splendid. And this is the other Fiat Uno Turbo, again in white. This one is a second generation car. This one promises to be one of the best examples in the UK, and the reason for that, this is lot 824, is because this was subjected to a full restoration by a Fiat main agent before joining the current owner's private Fiat collection, but now it's being offered for sale. 59,000 miles, 25 to 30,000 pounds, on the strength of the car that was sold earlier this year, which broke the world records. I'm looking around this, and it really does look like a new car. These lights are very critical of bodywork, and the body is absolutely gorgeous. The interior, which is like a houndstooth, is flawless. I don't know which car is actually more valuable, the Mark I, the Phase 1, or this, but I would say the Phase 1 has a nicer interior, but this car is just great. So what have we got? The engine features a forged internal package by Coventry Automotive, including Vossner pistons, PEC steel conrods, tastefully enhanced with Mark I style badges, film tinted fog lights, new rear spoiler, and an insurance approved tracker, all of which are reversible mods. It's a lovely thing, isn't it? Who would have thought that in 2025 we're stood next to these saying they're 30 grand cars? But look, I think it's overdue given the prices that fast forwards have been doing for some time. What's coming next? That's always what people ask me. I don't know. But I always think, look at 25 to 30 years. That's what's happening next. That's where nostalgia kicks in hard. I've noticed that certain colours sell cars. There's a really big green and tan going on at the moment, green and tan thing with new cars and also classics. Well, we have a green and tan contender here, but an extra special one because it's a prototype. This is a 1972 Lotus Elite M50 prototype, chassis number 0001A, and I believe it's one of 4 pre-production cars that were in existence. So this is a pilot build car, basically. Amazing thing, really. So what do we know about it? 3rd generation of Lotus, successor to the Elan Plus 2. This was built in 72 and it's been verified by Lotus Limited and the Lotus Club as being one of the 4 pilot build cars preceding production. It actually used to be used by Colin and Hazel Chapman, and it was repainted in black with JPS kind of pinstriping, and there is a JPS steering wheel boss in there. I really like the interiors of these. So it's been put back by the subsequent owner into its original metallic green colour. You can see it's got bubbling and reaction of the paint that's happened over time. The current owners had the car for 40 years, I believe. The interior is original, it hasn't been restored, so yes, there's some cuts, there's some signs of weathering throughout, really. I've said it before, some of the coolest wheels of all time. I absolutely love these wheels, I don't know why, I'm just really into them. But this car, yeah, it's got the 2 litre, obviously the all-alloy twin cam, the 907 engine, dual carbs, 5-speed gearbox. This is a piece of history. This is a chance to own a real piece of Lotus pre-production history for 15 to 20,000 quid, lot 872. What do we think? I still like the looks of these. They've really grown on me. 15 years ago, Jonny Smith did not have any interest in these. 2025 Jonny Smith definitely does. That iconic sand glow kind of ochre yellow means that these are original Camel Trophy competing Land Rovers. That one, the Freelander, yeah, that one was done in the 1998 event and the Disco was done in the 1997 event. That Disco's done 12,000 miles from new. amazing. Lot 873 and 874. But I want to come up here, and I know we get complaints in the comments like, oh, I can't believe you walked past that BMW. I'm sorry, we can't do them all. But please, in the comments, I'd love you to tell us which is your favourite car of the sale. But I want to talk about this. This 781. Now, this is a 4-door R34 Skyline. And if you know about drifting, like pro drifting in Japan, a chap called Ken Nomura, amazing pro drift athlete, he always competed from memory in a 4-door Skyline. And this is one of those. These were always the runt of the litter because it's not a GTR, it's not, you know, mad power or anything like that. It's probably auto. Yeah. So it's an automatic 4-door R34. 8 to 10,000 pounds. It's scored highly on the seller rating, nearly 100 points out of 135. It's a rare UK registered example. It can't have been sold new in the UK. I'm sure it can't. Don't think they ever did. Yeah, built and first registered in Japan in the year 2000, and it remained with one family for 12 years before coming to the UK in Feb 2024. Finished in athlete silver, 2-tone cloth seats. It's got cloth seats, hasn't even got leather. 2.5 litre RB25 non-turbo with 4-speed Tiptronic gearbox. It's got a 6-disc CD multi-changer. That really ages it. But it's got Tane Flex X height and damp adjustable coilovers for improved ride. And it's recently had a new throttle position sensor, new battery and a service in September of this year. It's rolling on some quite nice wheels actually, some Kansei 17s 9J with Falcon tyres, lots of tread on the Falcons. This is my favourite part of the R34. I love these iconic backlights and saloon cars with rear wipers, very much a Japanesey thing. I think it's cool. I really like this. I'm interested to see what lot 781 will fetch. Will it get 8 to 10 grand? It's hard to say. It's a classy car. What do you think? Skyline Saloon. Okay, so we're stood on what is effectively the jurisdiction line between the videos that I do, the classic car auction previews, that's over there. That is Harry from Harry's Garage, you know that.
Yeah.
And Harry does the previews for the Iconic Auctions, which is
I've got
all of that there.
Yes.
And we're filming on the same day, and I thought I'd come over and say hi.
Yeah. It never happens like
this. It never happens.
We've done this for years, haven't we, with Iconic and Silverstone Auctions. We've never been on the same day.
I don't
Finally.
know. I know. I'm excited. But I wanted to also say, you're selling some stuff here.
I am, yes.
You're thinning out the collection.
Yeah, I mean, hardly. I noticed I had 35 vehicles registered when I looked at my insurance quote, and I just thought, how can I drive 35 vehicles? Come on, do it. And I actually find keeping up with MOT servicing and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
you are doing a lot of admin and think, I'm going to be just driving these cars, and quite a few of them I find they can't be used in the winter because they would dissolve.
Yes,
and therefore they've got the 6-7 months of summer, and I thought I'm going to sell some, the ones that I've had to use. I've really enjoyed them. So I've got the Jaguar Coupe, the Spada, and a Land Rover Series 1. And it's really painful, this, because they are all the cars I now own. I love them to bits. So you think, but then the other little monkey saying, you've got too many, Metcalf. You ought to share the love. You've done the Jag. I enjoyed the journey. I so enjoyed creating that Jaguar Coupe. I wanted to show basically the directors of Jaguar in 1970 what they missed. They had a Broadstone racer that was hero, Steed's car doing great things with Jaguar. And what do they give you? A sort of beige coupe with a slushbox 3-speed and a anemic V12 that you didn't really know it was V12.
No, you didn't.
It was just quiet, make it quiet spot. And it just wasn't exciting. And I just wanted to say, what happens if you do a manual V12? Here we go. So yeah, I'm so pleased how it turned out. The one I feel slightly on the cusp of saying, oh, why am I selling this, is the Espada.
I was going to say the Lambo Espada.
Yeah, that was a more painful decision because they're just unattainable in like that. It's such a show car, and it's got this Miura engine and Miura wheels, and it goes really well. That's sort of fortunate because you spend 60,000 on the engine rebuild and Teflon coated piston from Carrillo and all that sort of stuff. It's just a great thing, and you just never see them. Everybody thinks the Spada, they made a lot, 1,200 and something in period, but actually now there's only about 300 left on the road worldwide.
Is there? Is that few?
Yeah, and there's Miuras, they made 1798. They reckon around 700 still exist. So you're twice as likely to see a Miura as you are in a Spada.
My gosh, I didn't know
because
that.
they were used every day. They weren't the special car like a Miura was.
Yeah.
They didn't exist. So that one I will miss. No choice, love.
While they're talking to us above, because it's still setting up, I will bid you farewell.
Oh,
I'm
well,
sure
I thought we were going to have a wander around, aren't we?
We can have a quick look if you want. Yeah.
I want to look at this. She'll shut up in a minute.
She will. Let's talk about this. What, lot 234,
Yeah.
SL600,
Yeah.
R120. You had one, I'm sure.
I have had one of these, and this is the later one because I can tell by the steering wheel the airbag on it. And it's got the glass roof, panoramic roof on
yes,
it,
it's
which was
tinted,
an
isn't it?
expensive option because they're normally metal. And it's got the split rim AMG wheels, which are another hugely expensive option.
Yeah.
And yeah, you want a later one. It's probably got the 5-speed gearbox in it as well. They're really nice, these, and they were crazy money. This was 110,000 new.
What, even in the year 2000?
It was
it?
over 100,000. The SL600 was showing off,
Right.
because the 500 was the base. So nice colour combination, this one.
It's still a really handsome car, isn't it?
Yeah, and Zonda engine,
Of course.
But
yeah.
it has the snarl the V12. You do notice the difference. I think they're really good. They've gone up a bit now.
25 to 30, this is estimated.
Yeah, it's not bad.
57,000 is not a lot, is it?
No.
Have you seen any others that you're sniffing around in the catalogue?
In here? Well, there's quite.
Despite
I can't believe they're quite nice. There's a Jag Coupe that the person is hoping whoever buys. Mine's going on the hammer on Sunday.
Yeah.
And he said, well, they don't. The underbidder, maybe they'll buy ours, which is this one, and they've done quite a lot of work on
784,
it.
lot 784.
Yeah, because they've got rid of the vinyl roof. They've done a complete thing on the interior. And I can understand it. There's quite a lot of plastic in a XJ in its interior because they were quite relatively cheap in the day.
Yeah.
And he's done it fully in oxblood leather all the way, centre console, everywhere. It's all been completely retrimmed. So it's quite smart.
I like that colour combination, the gunmetal.
Yeah, and he's obviously, you can take the vinyl roof off. Yeah.
So there's the 6, this is the 4.2.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's automatic. It is slightly different. Steel wheels.
Yes.
It's quite smart,
I've always wanted one, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't buy one now because I'll just look like an absolute copycat.
No, you'll be fine. Yeah,
and I've nearly bought, since working for Iconic, I've nearly bought 2 XJSs, manual XJSs.
Yeah.
But I can't now because some Chris Harris has bought one. I'll just look like a
copycat.
No, so
just do it. There's plenty to go around. No one watches Chris Harris. No one listens to what he says. He's always just burning rubber all the time. He doesn't actually drive them. He only does it on circuit.
He's going to skid it. He's going to buy it.
He's never going to drive it on the road. So no, do it. Anyway, you've got a job to do. You've got all these cars to do.
Yeah.
But lovely to catch up.
It's cracking to catch up.
Look forward to see the video.
Thank you, Harry. Yeah, so Harry's Garage, watch the preview if you haven't already on the Iconic cars.
Yeah.
But don't switch off what you're watching now.
No, you've got to carry on. Go carry on. Work to do.
Thank you.
It's important work.
I don't know whether it's since Renault as a manufacturer has really got its mojo back and is back in the game with the Renault 5 and the Renault 4 and an impressive Megane and the Twingos coming back. But I think that's affecting the values of the retro Renaults. The 5 GT Turbo has obviously had a lot of interest in the last couple of years. But this is the earlier car, of course. This is the Renault 5 Gordini Turbo from 1983. We did a barn find on a non-turbo one of these, similar colour I remember, and it was such a charming little car. I think they've aged so well. They're beautiful little things. What's the score with this one? Well, this car here, it's obviously got the 1397cc turbocharged engine, 110 horsepower, 5-speed gearbox. But this one's been upgraded with recently with the previous owner, gas adjustable shock absorbers, improved gear linkage from France, replacement rubber hoses within the engine bay. It's been owned for a long, long time. There's lots of history for this car, including old tax discs, lots of bills. There's 4 new tyres, new rear brakes, front pads, engine and gearbox service, track rod ends, suspension bushes, and so it comes with an enormous folder, which I always like. Inside, got these high back seats. Now this kind of Draylon interior, it just doesn't wear very well. It goes very slack, and this has got quite a few wrinkles in it, but I can't see any rips. It's a corduroy basically, and it's very, very funky. These are almost harder to find now than the mid-engine versions, the Turbo 2s, because these were the ones that were much cheaper. They sold more, they were thrown away more, and they didn't last so well in the UK. This is a UK car, right-hand drive. £9,000 to £12,000 estimate. Pop-out rear windows, turbo decals in the back window, turbo decals with the lines through and the pinstripes. Love these veined special wheels. These are so light, and of course 3-bolt because French. Really like this. It's cute, isn't it? So from one white 80s icon to another white 80s icon. I've shown loads of these on these auction previews because you know I have a real thing for them. I'll be brief with this Audi Quattro, and I'll do that because there's several of them in this sale. This one's an Alpine White 1988 car. That means it sits between the 20 valve turbo and the digital dash car. Or does this have, this does have the digital dash actually, this particular car. I think it's done just over 80,000 miles, 240 horsepower, black leather upholstery inside. It's got electric windows, it's got a factory sunroof, ABS, diff control, headlight washers. It looks like it's had a repaint at some point and it's been rubbed down aggressively. So I don't know whether it needs more than paint correction. On the seller's score, it's rated 96 out of 135. And it says the recommissioning, it's because it was in storage for a very long time. It came out of storage after 15 years, had underfloor welding, some paintwork, brake lines, fuel pump, front brakes, fuel metering head sent off for refurbishment because they don't last very long when they sit, and a cylinder head off skimmed with new valve guides. If you know me and you know my kind of car personality, you'll know that I have a bit of a thing for a lot of American classics. There's a good few actually within this classic sale this weekend. This Dodge truck, I saw it come in, 1941 truck, lot 767. I could not ignore it. It looks so pretty. The two-tone is tapioca beige over stone beige, good looking beiges. But here's the thing, this is not as it seems. This is actually a resto mod, but it's been done to a very good standard, because underneath this, these are separate body chassis, the old trucks. You know, this is wartime era Dodge truck, but underneath here is another Dodge. It's a 2012 Dodge Durango SUV. So it's got modern running gear underneath. And I hadn't clocked that because it sits really, really well. The wheels are obviously old, white wall tyres, it just works. And usually the giveaway to a resto mod is when you look inside, it's got modern switches or they've had to cut a bit of the dash out. No, still looks really nice and classic inside here, which is, for me, a big draw. Still has the sort of Art Deco-y looking gauges. I don't know if it's auto or manual actually. It's auto. So underneath is a Dodge Durango, 5.2 V8, 44 RE automatic transmission. I'm pretty sure that's an overdrive unit. It's got uprated brakes, discs at the front, but it's been done really well. Wooden bed, hardwood bed. Someone's done this to a very, very good standard, but of course, it means you can get in and use it a lot more than a very low geared wartime era commercial vehicle. 18 to 22,000 pounds on this, the V8 half-ton pickup resto mod. But there's another pickup over here which I just wanted to show you. Same money, or same estimate at least. Lot 768. It's a Ford P1 pickup, so this is the birth of the F100, the best-selling vehicle in America, or has been for many, many years. This is the start of it, and I think it's a better looking truck than the Dodge. I do like the kind of eyes within the within the grille look and these kind of nostrils going on here. But what's this one? 768, 1950 F1 pickup truck. This is not a resto mod. Period correct, 3.9 flathead V8 under the bonnet there. Really lovely, lovely engines, those Ford flatheads. Deep burgundy with a tan interior bench, similar to, this will be manual because they nearly all were. Imported to the UK in 2019, but restored in the US to a very high, and it is a very high standard. Again, the bed's beautiful. The bodywork's really pretty. Chubby white walls on the deep dish steel wheels. I just think they're very, this is the good era of pickup for me. And without wanting to go too pickup heavy, again, estimate 18 to 22 grand. The pickup next to it, I can't walk past that because it's absolutely immaculate. It's a Japanese pickup. It's a Hilux. I think it's a 90s Hilux, 736. Now, traditionally, I'm not a pickup person, really. I don't really understand them. I'd just rather have a van most of the time. But these two have definitely caught my eye. And this one, lot 736, 1996 Hilux. And it's done 72,000 miles, although it doesn't look it. So I'm trying to work out if it's been repainted or supplied new by Toyota of Plymouth in flame red with grey cloth, 2.4 four-cylinder petrol. It's a petrol engined one. 5-speed manual, 72,000 miles. And I think it has not been 5 former keepers, careful private use rather than hard commercial use. Yeah, it's never been restored. Goodness gracious me. And you know what I said earlier in the video? It's this era that is on the surge in the classic car world. 90s, early noughties. I think they're the big things. They're usable for a start. I think this is wonderful. Look at that. What's the estimate to this? 15 to 20K. Ever since the prices of Fiat Panda 4x4s have just kept creeping up, and they've actually killed off the 4x4, I think 2 years ago, which is a crime. The original ones, the prices have kept increasing, and I think this is almost the Fiat 500 of the collector's world now. Lots of collectors have Fiat 500s amongst a sea of supercars and exotica because they're cute and they're fun. Well, these are cute and fun, but they're also really rugged little mountain goats, and they're fetching strong money these days. Lot 826, 10 to 12,000 pounds, but it's done 44,000 miles, which is not a lot at all. Burgundy red metallic, and this is the Sisley edition, which is the more desirable, and you can see the fabric seats inside. They're like corduroy seats with a person in a canoe. Very, very cool indeed. This particular one, I don't think has been restored. No, it hasn't. The Sisley options include the metallic paint, an inclinometer, bonnet scoop, Sisley badging, branded seatbelts and mud flaps, and unique interior trim. Other features include manually operated windows, dashboard mounted clock, Veglia gauges, and a Grundig cassette deck with a heated rear window. Oh my word. And the white steels. What a great looking car with the decals and everything. This looks excellent. These rotted like hell. I've noticed a little bit of orange peel on the front wing, but all the plastics look excellent, and they're the sorts of things now which just disappear. And in the 80s, everyone wanted these, didn't they? Protectors on lights and the early days of bull bars. Right, that's nice. There you go, lot 826. One of the Japanese cars I really wanted to show you was this, lot 889. This is a 2007 Suzuki Jimny, so the previous shape, the one that lasted years and years. What's so special about it, Johnny? Let me tell you. It's done 2,779 miles from new. It is like new. It is box fresh. These often get used hard because they're so rugged. They often rot because they're not very well rust protected from the factory. And of course they get used by farming communities and people that live rurally. This car was supplied new in Ripon, up in Yorkshire, and the original owner passed away in 2022, and then it was moved on to his sister's ownership. So clearly nobody's really used it. It is lovely, and I've noticed the value of these since the new car have just been creeping up and up and up. What was a bit of a 1,800 quid, 2 grand car to kick around in is now easily 5 or 6. It's going to be interesting to see what this reaches. Estimate 8 to 10K. I say it goes higher. Talking of 80s cars reaching higher and higher values, these in unmolested condition, MG Metros and MG Metro Turbos, they're surging. Lot 857, this is a 1985 car, so it's 40 years old, this car. 42,500 miles on the clock, 9 to 12,000 pounds estimate, but it looks very nice. You might remember the MG Metro Turbo barn find that I did that got loads of views. I think it's had over 1 million views, which was a real shock. That car is subsequently now owned by my podcast partner, Richard Porter. If you don't listen to Smith and Sniff, you ought to. But back to this one, this is a later car than his. This is facelifted. And I wanted to check whether it has been restored, and I don't think that it has. Moonraker blue, red carpets, of course, with the kind of houndstoothy, herringbony fabric inside. And these, you typically will rot terribly underneath all of these arches, these plastic pieces of cladding. And equally, the plastic cladding doesn't age well. And as we go into the eras of 80s, 90s and noughties classic cars, it's sometimes the most unobtainium parts are the bits of plastic trim and the switches and those little things. And I know really high-end examples have started to go, you know, high teens money-wise. I like this. It's a sad world, isn't it, when you're staring at a Metro rather than a Ducati? But there we go. I love Fiat coupes. I think that they were styled so well by Chris Bangle. These slashes up the arches, they're a really good shape. Coupes I've always had a thing for. This is a Millennium car, year 2000, lot 822. Fiat Coupe 20 valve turbo plus, so 5-cylinder turbo, but this is the plus special edition, one of the very last, I think. This car has covered, and this is why I wanted to bring it to your attention, it's covered less than 36,000 miles. So it really is a kind of collector grade, I suppose. They haven't started reaching massive values yet, but they are supposed to be a really great car to drive. I've never driven one. 6-speed manual gearbox, this particular one, has a starter button, which was a big deal at the time. And it's, I wanted to look at the power, because I know that they put out a lot of power. They did 155 miles an hour, which is awesome, isn't it? So the Turbo Plus is like a last edition, I think. This is my favourite bit, the back. I don't know what you think. Really, it sort of deserved to have had an Alfa Romeo badge on it, because it was a far superior car to the Alphas at the time in many ways. It's probably quicker. Love this, lot 822. Will it reach 10 grand? Okay, so that concludes my whistle-stop tour of the classic sale with Iconic Auctioneers. Obviously, if you want to bid, go ahead and bid. You can be here in the room. This is the Birmingham NEC Classic Car Show. It's enormous. You come here, look at the cars, bid in person, or watch the whole event being live streamed on Sunday. Go to iconicauctioneers.com and you can register online, and you can do it all completely remotely. I am restraining myself. I am not buying any more cars. And neither is Harry Metcalf. And obviously, if you haven't watched the Harry Metcalf preview of the Iconic cars, go on to Harry's Garage and have a look at that. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love you to subscribe.